Think about Bill Ackman, Carl Icahn waging proxy wars or short selling the stock. But this episode seems a little bit different. Yahoo Finance's Alexandra Garfinkel is here with more about the activist lens from which to view the developments that we've gotten over the past few days. Give us a little bit more on what you've been looking into.
Sure. So, there is an activist playbook. There's a lot of variance within it, but there is an activist playbook. So, generally what will happen, a Carl Icahn, a Nelson Peltz, they'll come in and they will do a couple of things. The first is they'll acquire 1%, 5%, maybe 15% of a company. They'll make some noise. They'll look to make some changes that are fundamentally about, improving shareholder value. The goal is ultimately to remove an executive who's underperforming or spin off a line of business that isn't really working. Or in the case of Olive Garden a couple of years ago and its parent company, get rid of unlimited breadsticks. Usually an activist is somebody who's a renter, somebody who, may be looking to push a sale down the line, but it's usually not to themselves. They also usually operate with, companies of their own, Icon Enterprises, Tryon, Third Point. So he really has kind of stepped out of anything that we're familiar with when it comes to an activist. Even old school corporate raiders from the 80s, he doesn't quite fit the mold, Brian,
Well, so Ali, that begs the question, is there a comparison here with what we have seen or how we have seen Elon Musk go about his holdings in Twitter? I've heard a lot of comparisons to Jeff Bezos. What are you hearing?
That's the one I keep hearing too. The point I always want to make about that is that the scale is really different. When Jeff Bezos came in and bought the Washington Post, that was about a deal worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Whereas when what Elon's coming in with is in the tens of billions. His net worth is well over 200 billion right now. According to Forbes, he is the richest person in the world. So that would be a significant chunk of his net worth. But when push comes to shove, he is dealing in a really different scale than even Bezos was. I would argue that what we're seeing is unprecedented. I talked to a source who a couple of days ago said he seems to be an aspiring activist owner rather than an activist investor.
An activist owner. And we will continue to follow this story as you will. Ali, thanks so much for that. Ali Garfinkel joining us from our LA bureau there.